I want to welcome you to Dreamchasers Radio with me, your host,
Okay.
Yaya Diamond. And
Okay.
I am so very excited to have my next guest on the show today. It's all about his book. And let me tell you something. This is going to be an interesting show because I'm telling you, I'm kind of like, curious as to like what he's getting ready to say. Because I kind of understand a little bit, but I don't understand enough. But I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in. Don't forget to dare to be different, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to this channel, or even just go ahead, like, and if you can't comment, go to our Facebook page, Dream Chasers Radio, and comment there about the interview, because I really want to know your thoughts about that. Because we have today Mark Delerk Bueller on the show. Welcome to the show. Thank you so very much for being here with us today.
Oh, don't mention it. I want to thank you for having me.
Oh, anytime, anytime. So, okay, so first of all, we're going to kind of go back into your history and tell me how you got into this whole thing and what it is, because this is interesting. To me, this is like sci-fi at its best.
Okay, very good. Thank you for a good segue from the very beginning. Yes, it's a little bit of a sad tale. I'm sorry to say this.
Mm,
Uh, I lost my parents, uh, Anna Magdalena Bueller and Franz Walter Bueller. When they passed, when they passed, I was heart-stricken. I was sad and depressed, and you know. I couldn't, shall we say, live a normal life, as it were. I was thinking so much about them. Um, the one thing that cured, well, not cured me, but the one thing that relieved me of my stress and worry and hardship was I went to Barnes and Noble bookstore, and what I saw in Barnes and Noble just helped me a little bit, because what I saw was books, magazines, everything related to every topic, not just space, but fiction and drama, mystery, and all of that.
mm-hmm.
So I said to myself, I can't be depressed on a constant basis,
Yeah.
because otherwise, what kind of a life will I be living? And you see, I had a beautiful mother and a beautiful father, and they were very, very kind and very, very nice to me. So, so what happened was, one evening after leaving Barnes and Noble, I came home and I said to myself, I saw many books there. I could write a book. I
Mm,
could be an author.
yeah.
I could do this. Okay, so I went back the next couple of days to see the styles, the various styles of their writing, the various concepts and introductions and shorts of of what their story is about. So then I got thinking. Then over the weekend, the next weekend, coming weekend, I decided to write a novel or a story about the travelers. The
Mm,
travelers predates Raoul, and what I wanted to do was I wanted to see if I could write. Okay, maybe I could do it. Maybe I can't. Certain people are good at certain things. Certain people are not. So it's turning out very, very good. Very my first short story, uh, uh, approximately maybe 160 page. I'm sorry, 60 pages, something like that. And it turned out to be pretty good. I went to a publisher, and they published it. It's called The Travelers.
mm,
Then, uh, uh, then after that, I decided to go
mm-hmm.
bigger, and I needed a concept, a storyline that will be very, very surprising, very, very interesting to those in science fiction, in those in horror, in those in mystery, and in those of adventure or travel.
Mm-hmm.
And so the four categories I put into my next. Well, actually, they were a little bit involved with the travelers, but I expanded it. I truly expanded it into a unique and different way.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what I wanted to write about and perhaps maybe accomplish is the fact is that maybe we are not alone. Maybe out there is a civilization. Don't forget the The Milky Way galaxy is very big. It's over 100,000 light years across, and certainly there could be civilizations that come and they go. Okay, uh, but where do they go? If a civilization is doomed, it has to go somewhere. So then I decided, I tell you what, like everything else in life, every civilization seems to come to Earth, right? They, they try to not take over the planet. At least, at least try to see if their existence uh, is livable, can live
Mm.
on an Earth. But the difference between the modern science fiction books and what I wrote was maybe or maybe not. They are here right now, but perhaps maybe 15,000 years ago. Okay, they came. Okay, they came to shall we say to see early man and woman and children to see uh, uh, if they can establish some kind of intelligence, some kind of communication with them. And because I tell you why.
Mm-hmm.
Now comes the what I call the piste resistance. They were not here to befriend them. We're not there to, for instance, we're not there to provide aid and assistance and you know, and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
They came to utilize them in a different way, and the different way is this. Okay, I don't want to shock you, but there are three things that the reptilian aliens, in fact, in fact, these are, shall we say, the these reptilian aliens called RAL, Trap, Reptilian aliens, uh, shall we say, they utilize humans in three different ways. The most grotesque is food. Yes, they become food. If they do not become food, they become pets. And if they don't become pets, they are utilized as, you might call them slaves. But uh, their slavery is induced, inducted by temporal or by neuro transmitters systems implanted in the brain. Okay, similar to what Elon Musk is doing right now. These neurotransmitters.
Mm.
Uh, yes, what they did was for control. There are two ways of control, by the way. They have this ring that they put around the neck that that emits a certain frequency based on the brain's capability to intercept signals. Okay, uh, 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 by doing so, uh, they become like zombies. Okay, if you tell them to work, if you tell them to dig, if you tell them to do whatever that is necessary for the role, they'll do it. So so then, of course, many decades went and came, but there's one little problem with that. These neurotransmitters are create information. What they do is expand the brain. They provide the brain's capacity to think. They provide to even say who they are and what they are, and particularly language. Now, don't forget, 15,000 years ago, there was no civilization. There
Right.
was uh, 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 this was the ice age.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the ice age was permanent, both in the northern hemisphere and in the southern hemisphere. As a result of that, okay, whatever humanity, what I call a free humanity that came from Asia over the land bridge. I personally believe there was a land bridge
Mm-hmm.
in Alaska that, and then came to Canada, what was Canada, I mean, what is Canada and what is America.
Right.
They slowly went down to South America. Now, once they uh, uh, went to South America, they had a primitive means, Neanderthal, these cavemen slowly established a way to create to harvest the grain and also to hunt the animals.
Mm.
And so as a result, they become very useful to the RAL. These are reptilian aliens. They're what they want to do is they were inflicted with a disease on a moon, a hundred light years away. They came in world starships, massive world starships. That they were like nomads. Uh, they came because their solar system, unfortunately, demised was obliterated by a black. But see, they had a two-star system, and one star went to the other star because of a black hole. By by horrible mistake, a black hole forced them, and as a result, destroying the solar system. And but thank God they were advanced enough. They were advanced enough to have these starships. So they left 35, actually 38 starships left. Uh, the last three left just in time before their solar system was totally obliterated
Mhm.
by the two stars. And so they spent 100 years, over 100 years, in space. And then finally they saw a solar system with a moon, a vegetated moon that has wildlife, that has food, that has water, has everything. Okay, so they came to this moon, and unfortunately, there was a problem with that. They, when they landed and they toured the place, they were like they were like Star Trek, more or less. They wandered, they wandered everywhere, but they encountered a plant, a particular a plant that, shall we say, lures them to touch them. Very much like petting a cat. Okay, so they love they love that the smell. The smell was intoxicating, and so everyone was touching this plant. Magnificent. Little did they realize this plant is a killer. This plant kills and destroys anything that touches it, including the RAL. If there were humans there, they would kill humans. But because the RAL was there, they were they were infected. So when they finally left the moon to go further on into space, they noticed that their offspring, their their birth chambers were these people, these very young people, babies, were, were being killed. Were all of a sudden they were dying, and uh, so then of course they went further on, and luckily they found through their science and technology a small little blue green ice planet in the distance, and that was going to be the future Earth. And so they came to Earth, but they came to one place and one place only, South America. If you know anything about South America, it is beautiful green. Well, it's changing now. Unfortunately, mankind is changing it. But 15,000 years ago, it was beautiful, virgin, land, virgin land. And
Mm.
so when they discovered this land and animals, don't forget, abundant animals, mammals. Okay, they they decided to stay and to create. But uh, the RAL is a three-part story.
Okay.
The first part is the development of Mars.
Mm.
They through their science and technology, they found a huge canyon underneath the surface, a massive underground world where they could use for their for their life for their laboratories, for their
Mhm.
research. And then that's the first part. The second part is they needed an energy source because they have an advanced technology that allows them for space, but very limited space travel, and also time travel. It's a space-time kind of machine capability. Okay, so they sent one craft to the sun, because they released a ring, a particular kind of ring, a green ring that absorbs the power of the sun, which converts that to electricity. Uh,
Wow.
okay, then of course there were the other. Uh, there were three, by the way. There were three world starship craft. Okay, and the one came to Earth, and they stayed in orbit because what they did was they went to this mountain plateau in western Brazil, bordering what what was called what is still called the cradle of the Andes Mountain. And there they discovered this mountain plateau, and with a small little vertical cave in the center of this mountain, on top of this mountain. So what they did was they went down into this, and there they developed this time machine ring, this portal, okay, that will take them not only to Mars, that's as far as that they can go, or to this starships, or and also it provides a conduit for the sun's corona, because what happens is tremendous amounts of heat from the sun went into this corona tunnel corridor. That that is then converted to electricity because they needed massive amounts of electricity for their operation. Okay, and then okay, that's part two. Then of course, then comes the today. Okay, towards oh wait a minute, before that, there was this wonderful woman. Okay, her name was Cotraxia. Cotraxia. Okay, she became the hero. She became like the Joan of Arc. She she rose up all the natives, uh, and she released the hold of the Ral. And the Ral didn't understand this. In fact, this was like subversion. This was like a revolution. Rebels. They didn't understand that, and as a result, they decided to leave. Okay, and the last thing she said was, "You'll never come back. Otherwise, we'll kill you." I'm sorry to say it, but that's what she said.
Wow.
Because the Ral is not a nice reptilian alien. They are horrible creatures. They will, uh, you know, they make, they make. I'm sorry to say this. They make the Nazis look timid and nice and friendly. The Ral, you have to be very careful of the Ral. And the last of it is we have a hero by the name of Emmanuel Ramon. Okay, he became, and of course, the other one is Arisopata, Arisomana, uh, Arisanopa. He happens to be the Indian chief. Okay, the Indian chief of the local village of Amazonia. Okay, because don't forget, this all takes place in the jungles and mountains of South America,
Wow.
and so with Ramon, they oh, by the way, this is not the piece de resistance. This is not the icing on the cake. The roll on this moon that where they touched the plant also has a sea serpent. Okay, it's called the Terrano. The Terrano is a serpent of death.
Mm.
Uh, when they discovered the Terrano, they were they were wild. They were they were well let's put it, they will kill you. they will try to eat you, but
Mm.
yeah, but they were not as vicious or as vile as what the Ra made them out to be, because with their neurotransmitters, with their neurotransmitters, they created a specialized, shall we say, weapon. They became a weapon of the Ra, because when the Ra came to South America and uh, shall we say, uh, where they encountered the natives, okay, the early natives, there they put one over 100 Terranos on the ground on the surface. Now these were killers. They they will grow to a maximum of about 30, maybe 35 feet.
Mm.
Okay, but they no, they are horrible. Okay, the only civilization, the only I mean, not civilization. Yes, were the aliens. The aliens were the only ones that could control them. Okay, and of course, when they did, this is how cruel the reptilian aliens are. When they finished their job, okay, they put them into a special chamber where they killed them. Okay, they probably killed them for food, very much, you know, like those of in Asia, like in Japan. Now, the one problem is this: is the Terrano, shall we say? You must understand the Terrano will exhibits. I would say, I'm sorry, right now it exhibits 1,400 volts of electricity. So with their tongue, they have a forked tongue. If you could see me, they have a forked tongue. And what happens is these are large creatures. What they do is they come around you like this with their tongue, and they put 1,400 volts of electricity into your body. Okay, because what they want to do is they want to eat you.
Oh no.
Okay, because yes, the Terranor wants to disable you and then to kill you. I know it's not a pretty picture. I know it's not a pretty book. It's not it's not Bambi, or it's not a Walt Disney type thing. But I want to tell you one thing: they meet their end at or partial end at the end of this book, but more so in the coming 3-part chapter, 3-part book that's coming soon towards the middle of next year, and they will meet their end or demise. But don't forget, these reptilian aliens are very powerful. They are technologically powerful, and they uh, they will do everything they can to survive. Okay, and
Wow.
yes. So unfortunately, there's a lot more to tell. Oh, by the way, there's a hero. There's a hero in this book. Okay, and not Ramon, not the Indian chief, and of course, I'm sorry to say, not a little girl, not the girl that grew up to be well, to be Quatraxia, but there were the black jaguars. Yes, there were 5 black jaguars that were hunting, that were hunting and trying to kill the Terrano. Okay, now unfortunately, I'm not going to tell you what happened to these beautiful and wonderful creatures, but when you read the book, The Ral, you will see what happened, unfortunately. But at the same time, they gave their life, okay, for uh, the people and village of Amazonia, the villages of Amazonia, and you could be very proud of them. These are beautiful cats. These are the black jaguars.
Wow. Wow. That takes me all the way through. I mean, you can't get any better than that to explain all three versions of what you have. So the version that we have up now, that one, the Rao, that's the last one, and there's another one coming out afterwards, right?
Yes, it's called the Ral.
The Rao. Okay, so this one is the current one, but then the next one's coming out next year. I am just wow.
Hopefully this year. Hopefully
Oh, this
this year.
year. I hope so. I
Yeah.
mean, think about it. What kind of imagination? I mean, did you know you had this kind of imagination? Before?
Well, let's put it this way. I, I I'm going to be very truthful. I used to be a great fan of Star Trek, of Star Wars, of all the other science fiction TV shows and movies. But the one thing that doesn't make sense is, uh, they seem docile. They seem, they don't seem to be, uh, you know, any different from humans. They
Mm,
have the same kind of culture. They speak the same English. They speak the same, and not only that, but when we encounter aliens from other star systems, okay, or galaxies, well, not so much galaxies, but star systems,
mhm,
they're not going to speak the King's English. They're going to have their own language, and we have to better understand and to decipher what their intent is.
mhm.
Okay, the only movie that came very close. Of course, they had one problem. They had tentacles, but the only movie that came very close was Independence Day.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, yes, okay, had a certain amount of, shall we say, repertoire in terms of, uh, you know, these aliens are not exactly, Peace Corps people. They they also want to colonize and take over, and and but but the RAL, see, the RAL has 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 been around for thousands of years, and they have developed a high degree of technology, a high degree of capability to destroy and to create and to, shall we say, control.
Mhm.
And uh, uh, the role is, you know, they don't understand compassion as much as we do. They don't understand, what it is to let people be by themselves, or to all of that. All I know is one thing: if I can take over you, if I can control you, or if I can use you, I will. That's what the RAL believes in. Okay,
Mm,
okay. It's not a question of, of can do the RAL really want to do this to you? It's the fact is that the RAL also wants to survive, and in order to survive, it has to be the RAL way. Only the RAL can survive on its own terms.
mm,
Okay, and uh, it's when you if you are fortunate to get a book of the RAL, you'll be very impressed, very impressed of who they are and what they're capable of. In fact, uh, the third book in the RAL series is going to explore uh, what the RAL, from their uh, their lost civilization uh, to coming to Earth.
mm.
They were in space over 100 years.
Wow.
Okay, okay, and they have sublight speed. They can transverse great distances. But you will see what what they have done on their way. Don't forget, they are now nomads. To be honest with you, okay, nomads that they want one thing only: to survive and to have a planet that they call their own.
Mhm.
And so, but it was not Earth. In fact, they had no choice.
Mm,
They had no choice but to say goodbye, Earth. Okay, because they did not understand what rebellion is. They did not understand what what saying no to their occupation, to their control. You see, on their home world, there is only one species, and that's the RAL, and only one thought, and that's the RAL. Okay, when you have a different thought and a different species and a different, you become fearful. You become, you know, as I said before, there's three ways, uh, three human ways on the RAL, of the RAL. There is humans for food, humans for pets, or humans for service, for
yeah.
servants. and as a result, they decided, you know what? Let's go somewhere else. Maybe we can find a better food, and a better way of life. And and eventually that's what they did. That's
Well,
what they did. Well, anyway, I gave you the story. I gave you the book.
yes, you did.
But look
Yes,
at this.
you did.
You still have to read the book. Hold on. You still have to read it. You,
Yeah, because that's just the synopsis. That's just a summary of what's going on.
yes.
That's not the story itself.
Yes. Now look at it. Listen to me here.
Hmm.
It has science fiction. It has adventure. It has mystery, and it has horror.
Oh, I know it's got horror.
Okay. You, if, if you love horror, you will love the Terrano, because
Oh,
don't forget, I haven't really told you how vicious and horrible they are. Tell me, do you like King Kong?
yeah.
Okay, it's like King Kong without a heart,
Oh goodness.
without a soul.
Wow.
It's like King Kong without a soul. I think you and yes, it's not a pretty book. It's not a Walt Disney with the Bambi and the other does and reindeer. This
Mm,
is a very realistic and cruel, because I tell you why. And this is very important. The Ra, you see, the Ra understands nature and understands that if you were to take a brute monster, I mean a powerful brute monster, and make them your soldiers, make them your infantry, you don't need to have RAL soldiers. You don't need to have RAL expedition forces. Simply release the Terranol, and they will do your bidding for you.
oh my gosh.
You see that?
Oh wow. I see that. Wow. Well, I want to thank you so much, Mark, for being on the show and for explaining the whole, principle of what you did and how you did it, and the creation of the character and the actual monster. Because I'm going to call it monster because this is a monster. That.
By the way, I'm sorry. Oh, by the way,
Hmm.
in this book, there's the travelers.
Oh,
There's also the travelers, which are also interesting. By the way, which is also interesting. They uh, uh, when you see, this book is adventure. Now, the adventure part is the travelers, and when you see what they go through, and don't forget the allies of the travelers is the black jaguar. So when you listen, I haven't even explained the adventures of the travelers and the jaguar, but when you read the book, you'll see what I mean.
wow. And so this is the second part. The third part should be out really soon. And I'm
Uh,
going to
well,
go ahead.
well, well,
Right?
the, well, the third part will be up next summer,
Okay.
because right now it's I wanted to create a space adventure that defies all space adventures, and it's also includes the RAL. Don't forget, it's the RAL before they came to Earth.
Mm,
Okay, okay. So you're going to see a very powerful, intense story coming up. It should be ready by, I would say, by June, by next June.
wow. Well, we are looking forward to that. And also, go ahead and I'm going to put into the description box below the link to the current book so that you guys can catch up on whatever you haven't caught up on, because this seems to be one of those books that will keep you up at night. Please, please, take
Yes,
a quick
yes,
peek. Just like if you have nightmares, don't eat pizza. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Mark,
yes.
thank you so much for being on the show. I appreciate it so very much. And again, you guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Don't forget to dare to be different. And oh my gosh, yeah, the row. I mean, yeah, it's
Oh,
yeah.
by the way, very soon I'm going to have a website.
Oh, nice. Okay,
Yes.
all right. So
Okay.
we can get that website up, and as soon as you get it, we'll put it up.
Okay. Yes, because I want to be in contact with you once I get my website up and running.
That
Okay.
sounds great.
Okay. So please, we'll be in contact. So don't worry. Oh, by the
Okay,
way, it has like a chat box type thing. A chat box thing. So you
mhm,
could always write and all of that in there. It's
nice.
coming. It's coming very soon.
Awesome. Awesome. That is great. That is great. Well, Mark, thank you. And thank you guys so much for
Thank you.
tuning in. Don't forget to dare to be different. Until next time, guys. Bye.